There's a kind of touch women crave, but won't initiate. Not directly, not obviously, especially if she's shy. It's not the playful, flirty kind where she leans into you at the bar or grabs your hand in the middle of a joke. It's softer, slower. It's built from moments that don't look like much, until you realize what they really are. It shows up in how long she stands near you when she doesn't need to, in the way her fingers hover before brushing against yours, in those quiet seconds after a goodbye where she lingers, just waiting to see if you'll notice. On the surface, she'll act normal, maybe even a little distant, but underneath, she's hoping, waiting, for you to make the move, so she doesn't have to. She wants physical closeness, but she's terrified of misreading the moment, so she creates small windows, quiet chances, opportunities you're meant to take, if you know what to look for. Most guys don't. They miss it, not because they're clueless, but because shy women hide their intentions in the tiniest details. But once you know how to spot them, the signals become impossible to ignore, especially the last one. It's not just a hint. It's a quiet invitation. If she's doing it, she's already imagined what it would feel like for you to touch her, and she's hoping you'll figure it out without her ever having to say a word. Before we get into that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all our videos. 1. She finds ways to adjust your clothing or appearance. She won't say, "Can I touch you?" Instead, she'll say things like, "Wait, you've got something right there." And before you even process what's happening, her hand is lightly on your chest, brushing off an invisible speck of dust. Or she'll fix your collar, without really needing to. It's small but very intentional. To anyone watching, it looks innocent. That's the point. It gives her a way to be near you physically, without risking awkwardness or making things weird. She's testing the waters. If you smile or lean into it, she'll remember that. But if you stiffen or brush it off, she'll likely retreat. It's the kind of contact that's so brief you might not register it. But if she does it more than once in the same interaction, trust me, she's not worried about your outfit. She's looking for connection. Soft entry points that let her express desire without stepping outside her comfort zone. 2. She pretends to need help with something physical, when she doesn't. You'll notice this one because it always feels a little too convenient. She can't open a water bottle. She needs help carrying something she's clearly capable of managing. She asks you to adjust her bracelet clasp or zip up her jacket, and every time, it creates a window for closeness. Think about the mechanics. Your hands get close, you're within each other's reach, and the door to touch is slightly open. But more than that, she's giving you an excuse to touch her in a way that feels helpful, not flirty. For a shy woman, this is the safest possible way to say, "I want to be closer to you." If she smiles or lingers after you've helped her, it's not just gratitude. She's hoping you noticed how intimate that moment actually was, and she's wondering if you'll use the next one to close the gap even more. 3. She gives you micro-invitations into her personal space. Shy girls don't chase proximity, they invite it. It's usually so low-key you'll miss it if you're not paying attention. Maybe she shifts just enough to clear a seat next to her, or she leans away slightly from a crowded space to make room for you, not for anyone else. It could also happen when walking together. You'll notice she slows her pace just enough for your shoulders to line up. Or, when standing in line, she positions herself at an angle so you can easily step into her space without stepping over boundaries. These micro-invitations are not loud. She's not reaching for your hand. She's quietly letting you know, "I've made room for you, if you want it." A confident woman takes space. A shy one gives it. And when she gives it to you specifically, it's not an accident. Pause right here. If you're watching this to become more emotionally intelligent, not just lucky with women, type "on point" in the comments. Let's see who's building themselves with purpose. 4. She positions objects to bridge physical gaps. This one's almost invisible unless you know what to look for. You're sitting across from each other and she slowly pushes her phone toward you to show something. Only she lets it hover between your hands, long enough for them to brush. Or she hands you something but doesn't let go right away, fingers lightly touching yours just a bit too long. Sometimes she'll use a drink, a menu, a scarf, anything that gives her a reason to close the space between you. If you're seated side by side and she places her coffee cup closer to your side, it's not laziness. She's testing how comfortable she feels in your physical space, and if you'll give her a reason to stay there. She might not have the confidence to make the first move directly, but she'll absolutely place a bridge and see if you cross it. The moment you do, her whole body language will soften. That's how you know it worked. 5. She uses reflective motion to create sync without touching. This is physical rapport at its most subtle. If you shift in your seat and she does too, seconds later, in a mirrored way, it's not coincidence. She's syncing with you. It's something our nervous system does when we feel emotionally connected to someone, and for shy women, it's a way to engage physically without the risk of being the first one to touch. You cross your arms, she does too. Gently. You lean back. She mirrors it, just slightly delayed. This creates rhythm, harmony, and a feeling of, we're in the same space together. That closeness makes eventual touch feel natural, not sudden. It might seem passive, but it's actually one of the most powerful ways a shy person can build intimacy. It tells you, I'm aligned with you. I'm matching you. I'm open. 6. She lingers in transitional moments just long enough. You've probably felt this without realizing it. You're saying goodbye, and she pauses. Maybe she fiddles with her bag. Maybe she smiles, turns halfway, then turns back to say one more thing. The moment feels like it should have ended, but somehow it hasn't. This pause is incredibly important. It's where many shy women secretly hope you will go in for a hug or touch her arm gently. She won't ask for it. She won't even hint verbally. But her body is giving you a window, a soft pause that says, if something's going to happen, now would be a good time. Miss that cue, and she'll likely shut it down and blame herself for being too obvious. Catch it, and you'll probably notice her whole body breathe a little deeper, like finally. That tiny moment of hesitation, that's her leap of faith. 7. She accidentally mimics your stretch or posture. You do a shoulder roll, and 3 seconds later, she does too. You lean back with your arms folded, and she adjusts herself to match, just loosely. This isn't her mocking you, it's her mirroring you. It's another nonverbal strategy that's more common among shy or socially anxious women who still want to connect. And here's why it works. Physical mimicry subconsciously increases attraction. It creates familiarity. It makes people feel more in tune with one another. But for someone shy, this isn't always conscious. Her body is just trying to sync up with yours, because it feels right, even if she can't say why. If you're noticing small posture echoes, take that as a green light. She might not initiate physical touch yet, but she's absolutely preparing the stage for it. 8. She places emphasis on shared spaces and mutual belongings. You notice that her stuff starts ending up near yours. Her bag is next to your jacket. Your drinks are placed together, even when there's room elsewhere. If you hand her something, she keeps it a beat longer than needed. These are territorial cues, signals of comfort and familiarity. She might also make playful comments like, I think I'm stealing your seat, or looks like we're sharing now. These aren't just throwaway lines. They're her way of building a sense of us instead of you and me. For a shy girl, building shared spaces is step 1 toward physical closeness. If she can blur the line between your things and hers, then touching you feels less like a leap and more like a continuation. 9. She reacts to touch in a delayed but open-ended way. Let's say your hands brush accidentally. She doesn't jump away. Instead, there's a split-second pause, then a soft smile. Or maybe you touch her arm to make a point, and she leans into it slightly, instead of pulling away. These are not reactions of someone caught off guard. They're quiet approvals. The key here is that she doesn't reject the touch, and she leaves the door open for more. Shy women often won't initiate physical contact, but they will absolutely respond to it in a way that says, I liked that. Try again. The timing matters. That little pause before she reacts, that's her giving herself permission, and giving you permission too. 10. She uses softness or slowness to give you permission. This might be the most invisible signal on this list, but it's also one of the most powerful. You'll notice her pace changes when she's around you. Her gestures become more fluid. Her voice softens. Her movements slow down just enough to make you feel calmer, more grounded. It's not manipulation. It's her subconscious trying to create a space where connection, including touch, can happen without tension. She's regulating the energy between you. When she slows down, she's telling you, I'm not rushing. I'm open. I trust you. It's a subtle green light. Not flashy, not loud, but very, very real. Up next, discover what women do when you're all they think about, or learn how to tell if she's trying to seduce you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.